Good evening, Greenwood Bulldog fans. Tonight, game one here at Harrison, Arkansas, Goblin Arena. Greenwood Lady Bulldogs take on the Harrison Lady Goblins. Didn't catch the game last week. Greenwood walked away with a nice home win over the Siloam Springs Panthers, 73-49. So that took our Lady Bulldogs to another win. That's 2 in a row. Coming in tonight against Harrison Goblins, the overall record for the Lady Goblins is 11-10 with the conference current standings of 2 wins, 3 losses. And that puts them number 5 in the 5A West. Harrison Lady Goblins have losses over Mountain Home, lost by 14. Farmington lost by 35. Van Buren a squeaker by 2. And they've got wins over Alma, won by 13, and Siloam Springs winning by 26. Greenwood will play on the road again this Friday as they'll travel up to Mountain Home. We are approaching the midway point of the conference season. This is game 6 so far. This Friday will be our game 7. It's our midpoint. Some brief, real quick stats coming into tonight's game. Still Piper Pitts with a shooting average of 35.7%. Izzy Smith 44.5%. Kyla Piercy 46.3%. Ashlyn Rose with 34% shooting from the field overall, and Pate Jones 31% as well. We shoot a lot of three-pointers as a team, and our three-point leaders percentage-wise is Piper Pitts 32, Izzy Smith with 31%, Kyla Piercy 22, just almost 23% from the field, and Pate Jones shooting 27.8% from the field for three-point range. Our starters for Farmington and Greenwood will be announced here as we do the Pledge of Allegiance.
And now the national anthem performed by the Harrison Jazz Band.
Greenwood's starting lineup tonight. Number 1, Ashlyn Rose. She's a junior.
guard,
Number 10, Piper Pitts. She's a senior. Izzy Smith, number 21. She's a senior. Pate Jones coming back tonight. We'll have her back in the lineup. Good to see her. Number 22. She's a senior as well. And number 31, Kyla Piercy. She's a junior. So good to have our customary starting five back in the lineup this week as we get started off on these two long road games away from home tonight in Harrison and then Friday night against Mountain Home. Got a chance to talk to Coach Castleman. Going to continue to see a lot of our full court 1-3-1 zone tonight. See a lot of trap as well. Felt like that's kind of one of the keys of the game for the Lady Bulldogs. Trap the Harrison Lady Goblins as they try to come down the court. Use that sideline, use that half court to their advantage. Get those extra players to try to trap them, get them to pick up their dribble, get them into trouble. The starting lineup here quickly for the Lady Goblins: Elijah Barger, Jordan Quant, she's a junior, number 1. Tucker Webb, senior, number 24. Lila Jones, senior, number 32, and London Lee, a senior as well, number 22.
Lila Jones.
For the most part, the Lady Goblins have had 10-plus points on their losses in the deficit. With their close game there against Van Buren, they just lost that game by 2 points. So, talking to Coach, it's a matter of coming out, putting extra pressure on them, making them take poor shots or quick shots, not letting them get deep into the shot clock. They want them to not be able to get into their set half-court plays. That's one of his, he said, another key was keep them out of those set half-court plays where they can get into what they know and what they're comfortable with. So, big key, make them uncomfortable. We're getting ready for the tip. A few adjustments by the officials, and it looks like we're about ready for that tip-off here as Ashlyn Rose will be there in the circle against Lee for the Lady Goblins. Ball tip goes off to the Harrison Goblins. And here we come. Smith up on the ball. Nice and tight. There she picked up the dribble. That's what we want. Pass down into the right-hand corner as Jones gets up in her face. Back up top. Playing that tough zone 1-3-1 defense. Now they got them in trouble up in the top in the corner. Back in the far right corner. Down inside to Lee as she scores 2. Here comes Greenwood. Jones with the ball. Kicks over to Smith. Smith finds Pitts to the left. Back up top. Back to Pitts for the long 3. Good for 3 for Pitts. Left-hand side. Greenwood up quick, 3-2. Full court press, looking for a mistake. See if they can trap. There's the trap. Piper almost reached in, managed to get her hand back just in time. There's our double team. Looking to make a mistake on the Goblins. Tries to drive inside. Pate. Nope, yep. Bounced it right off the side of her foot and it goes out of bounds. Going to be Greenwood's ball on the baseline. Piper Pitts inbounds to Jones, and here comes Jones down the center of the court. Piper on her right, she rotates down in the corner. Here comes Piercy, top of the key. Back to Jones, back up top to Smith. Back to Piercy. Piercy drives down toward the block, pulls it back, cross court over to Jones, down to Rose in the corner. Long pass, top of the key, knocked away, fought for, and it goes out of bounds, and that's going to go to the Lady Goblins.
Turnover goes to the Lady Goblins.
Ball being inbounded right in front of the Greenwood bench. Greenwood moving right to left. Ball down inside on the block. Rose got her hand on it, tried to knock it away. Piper Pitts is down in there. She goes up with the shot, and she's going to be called for the foul.
Foul is on Piper Pitts. That's her first.
That'll be her first and the first team foul for tonight. Lead to shoot 2. First one's up and good. 3-3 with the second shot coming for the Goblins. Hits up and good. And here comes Jones. Piper to her left. She makes that pass down to the corner to Piercy on the left. Back up top. Smith with the ball. Down into Piercy, right-hand side. She tries to bounce pass down in the lane to Rose. Couldn't get it to go. Here comes the Goblins. Tough pressure by Smith. She gets Quant to turn it, get into trouble there. She bounced it off her foot, had to pick up her dribble, and that caused the Goblins to have to call a timeout or get that 10-second violation. They were down to 1 second left. We got a timeout. It's like a 30-second timeout. Greenwood doing a good job of coming out and putting on that tough pressure, that tough full-court pressure. Coach Castleman really lets them run that full-court pressure on their own. They can choose to trap immediately or let the player dribble and then come over and slide their defense toward the sideline depending on where the ball goes. So they've got some leeway that they can work with. Coach does a good job of instructing and then letting them kind of get a feel of the game of how things are going, whether there's a lady Goblin that maybe doesn't handle the ball as well as another, and so they can key off of that. Here comes the ball inbounded to Quant. Good tough defense there by Smith as she comes across the midcourt line. Goblins looking as an inbounds way pass down the block. It was partially touched by Piercy. She knocked it away. 3-point shot up, and that's going to be good. Here comes the Bulldogs. Jones with the ball, top of the key, over to the right to Smith. Smith looks for the cutter. Piper cuts underneath. She's down in the corner. Here comes Piercy, left-hand side. And we've got a turnover there in the lanes. Ball got, nope, we got a foul now. That was a foul on Greenwood on 31 on Pearson. And she went and tried to tie that ball up. Called her for a reaching. Here come the Lady Goblins. Ball back in the middle. Foul down low. Greenwood was fighting for position, and that foul is going to be on Smith.
Foul's on Piercy. That is her first, team second. London Lane back at the line.
Second shot for the Lady Goblins. Greenwood down by 5. Second shot up and good to lead. Here comes Jones, quickly moving. Over to the right to Piercy. Piercy on the far right-hand side, drives to the baseline toward the block. Shot up, no good. Got fouled, no call. She got bumped. Top key now to Jones. Long 3-point shot by Piercy. And it was off the mark, rebounded the Lady Goblins. Smith up, chased the ball, down to Jones on the block. Lee drug her foot, no call on the travel. Back up top, Smith playing tight, and she's going to be called for the foul.
Number 21, Smith, that is her first.
And that's her first personal foul. They're not going to let them, not letting them bump, at least not letting Greenwood bump tonight. As Smith came up and put a tough man-to-man defense on the ball and picked up a quick foul. Long little lob pass over to the middle from the Goblins, down baseline off the block. Rose knocks that out of bounds. Off the baseline, and that'll be an inbounds now for the Lady Goblins. Lob pass inside, nobody saw it coming, almost tied up by Smith. Ball down in the lane on the lower block. We lost Jones. Jones got a 2-pointer on the block. Here comes Piercy, right side, dribbles left-handed, kicks it back up to Jones, over to Piper Pitts. She gives it back. Now it's in the hands of Smith. Smith over to Rose, back up top to Jones. Jones, she finds Pitts over in the right-hand corner, but they covered her up quickly. Left-hand side to Rose. Rose takes a little dribble inside the 3-point line. No good. Ball out, rebounded and brought in back by the Lady Goblins. Far side, up top Tough defense on Pitts. Ball down inside. It's 2 points for Lee. Here comes Jones across the timeline. Back up top to Jones, and Piercy drove into the lane, got fouled, reach-in call. And that's going to be on Quant. Be her first foul and the first team foul. Inbound by Pitts. Up top to Jones. Over the right side to Smith. She dribbles, kicks it back to the left. Quick pass down in the corner to Pitts. Up and bounces off. Couldn't get it to go. Rebounding Lady Goblins. Smith with a tough defense. Greenwood chasing. Down inside. In the lane. Missed shot by the Lady Goblins. And Dolan with the rebound. Jones up top. Down in the corner to Piercy. Piercy dribbles, kicks a quick skip pass up to Smith. Smith for three, off the back of the iron. Jones with the miss. Just quite couldn't get it to go. As Castleman gives Jones some quick instructions from the sideline. Full court press by Greenwood. Smith on the ball. Double team as she picks up her dribble. Stolen away by Smith, and she gets a quick pass over to Piercy and just couldn't quite get her hand on it as she was breaking down the far side. Smith up tight on the defense. Doing a good job, making her work for it. Back across the top. Piper comes over to almost the backcourt. Lady Goblins drags her feet. They causing trouble on the defense. Stolen away by Pitts. Here comes Jones. Third turnover for Greenwood tonight. Shot inside the lane by Piercy, up and couldn't go. Full court press again. Double team by Pitts and Smith. Pitts and Smith looking to double team again. Almost got it out. Now she's picked up her dribble. Now she's in trouble. Knocked away by Dolan as they tried a cross-court pass. Couldn't come up with it. Now, again, stolen away this time by Smith. Gives it back. Drive inside by the Goblins. No good. Rebound by the Goblins, and that goes up. Good for two. It's 15-3. Here comes Jones. Back over to Smith. Smith dribbles top of the key, looks inside to Piercy. Piercy's got it left-hand side of the lane, picks up her dribble. She's got to make a choice. Pitts back up top to Jones, off the back of the iron. Rebound to Greenwood, almost stolen away by the Goblins. Smith with the ball, left-hand side, knocked away by the Goblins as they were trying to get it to Dolan over in the left-hand corner.
Ashlyn Rose back in for the Lady Bulldogs, also number 2, Journey Clemens.
Piercy's going to come out, and Rose is now back in the game. Long pass out to Smith. Far right-hand side, knocked away as Clements is now in the game as well. Journey Clements.
Jim Lewis checking in for the Lady Goblins.
Smith the inbound. She finds Jones, back to Smith. Smith looked at a three, passed it up, cross court to Clements. Back to Clements on the left side. She dribbles, picks up her dribble, back up top to Smith. Clements for three, just off the iron, back side of the iron. It goes out of bounds in the hands of the Lady Goblins. Just over a minute left here in the first period, and Greenwood's having trouble buying a bucket. Here come the Lady Goblins. Rose and Jones stop the dribble. Pass quick down inside. Foul by Lee as she pushed Dolan, and there's the call.
Fouls on London Lee. That is her first foul. Lady Bulldog ball.
Her first foul of the night. Jones with the ball across the timeline. Inside to Rose. She kicks it back to Jones. Jones over to Smith. Smith drives left, kicks it back over to Journey, and Journey gets it back up top. Smith with the ball, left-hand dribble to Jones. Jones for three. Good! Big shot by Pate Jones here as we wind down the first period. Dribble in on the baseline. Shot no good by the Lady Goblins. Here comes Jones. Quickly down to Smith. Smith left hand in the lane. Loses her defender, but they call a foul on the floor.
That's her second personal foul.
And that's going to be on number 1, Quant, her second foul of the night. And that'll send her to the bench. She's replaced by Webb. Long pass inside to Smith. Smith down inside to Dolan. Dolan pushed from behind. No call. Here come the Lady Goblins. Less than 10 seconds left in the first period. Crawling cross-court pass. Big shot from outside for three by the Lady Goblins, and it bounces out off of Dolan on the baseline with less than a second left. Inbound by the Lady Goblins on the baseline, and that's no good. And that's our first period. Greenwood down 6, Lady Goblins 15. We'll be back here real shortly for the second period of the game. This is Bulldog basketball. 6 points.
In this part of the country, it's a way of life. You're going about your day without a cloud in the sky. Then suddenly, you find yourself wondering how solid your home really is. With over 30 years of certified experience, let our team give you the same assurance on a stormy night that you feel on a clear afternoon. Before the downpour, before the leaks, call Foster Roofing, serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley since 1994.
We're back. Harrison, Arkansas, Goblin Arena. Greenwood Lady Bulldogs playing on the road here in Harrison Lady Goblins, and it's been a tough first period as we just cannot get that lid off of the bucket as we are sitting on 6 points made by 3-point shot made by Piper Pitts and Pate Jones. She's got a 3-point shot of her own, and that's where we are with 6 points. The Lady Goblins have been able to pound the ball down inside. They've got a tall girl, got some height, and that's working for them so far. Here comes Jones, top of the key, over to Clements, back to Jones, down inside, back out to Clements for three, off the back of the iron glass, no good, and rebounded by Greenwood as Smith comes out of it. Another shot by Clements, good for three. Way to come out there by the Bulldogs. Tight defense by Clements. She's on the ball, following it down, goes inside, runs into Dolan, and Dolan's going to be called for the blocking foul on that shot by Barger. 9-15. Greenwood having to fight back, down by 6. First shot up for the Lady Goblins, and that's going to be good. And that's Dolan's first foul of the night. Looks like they actually called it on Clements, though. That's still Clements' first foul. Here comes Smith. This look right to Dolan, back top, up to Jones. Smith on her right. Down left to Clements. Clements way outside the three-point line. Dribbles toward the long three-pointer. Off the back of the iron, no good for Smith. And that was an NBA distance three-pointer for Smith, and we've got a foul now. It'll be Greenwood's ball on the baseline. Dolan to inbound as she looks to her right and finds Jones. Jones cross court to Clements, down in the right-hand corner to Rose. Up top to Jones, now to Smith. The Smith dribbles right hand, kicks it out to Clements. Good for three. That's Clements' second three-pointer of this second period. She comes out on fire. Here comes Greenwood with the full-court press, trying to get the Lady Goblins to make a mistake, pick up the ball, and knocked away by Greenwood. Here comes Jones, and she's looking for some help. 1 on 3, and ball's knocked away, and it's going to be out on the Goblins. Jones was looking for a crease there as she was coming down court and had 3 Goblin defenders in front of her. Jones with the ball at the top of the key, over to Smith. Smith looked at the 3, thought about it, over to Clements. Clements will shoot the 3, up, off, back of the glass, no good, rims out. Goblins coming quickly. Goblins on the left-hand side, kicks it way up top on top of the key. Clements comes down on the right-hand side as they get it in the corner. Picked up her dribbles. Goblins in trouble. 18 seconds on the shot clock. We've got a foul on Greenwood, and that's going to be on
Fouls on Journey Clements. That's her first.
Journey Clements, and that's going to be her first. That shot's up and good. Miss from the free throw line and a foul on the Goblins. And there's a push in the back. And that's going to be push on Barger, her first foul of the night. Here comes Jones down the center of the court, over the right to Dolan, back to Jones. Over to Rose, just on the left side. A little floater from the lane, and that's up and good for Rose. Her first points of the night's game. Quick pass as Lady Goblins go down the right side of the lane. Knocked away by Jones. Kicks back out, outlet pass to Smith. Smith coming fast, 1 on 2, looking for a crease. She tried to pass back to the left-hand side. Nobody was there. Knocked away by the Lady Goblins. The Goblins across the timeline. Goblins look down inside. Double team by Greenwood. They break the double team. Stolen away by Smith. Smith coming quick. Quick pass over the right to Jones. The Goblins got their hand on it, knocked it away. Here come the Goblins again across the half-court line. Greenwood playing a tough man-to-man now as they switch down to their 1-3-1 zone just for the time being. That's going to be a foul on Journey Clements. Second foul of the night. 14-13, 5 minutes left. Greenwood's clawing back in. Those 3-pointers are going to dig us out of the hole we found ourselves in. First one's up and good for the Lady Goblins. And checking in now. Just heard a buzzer. Second shot up and good. Here comes Greenwood. Jones with the ball. Middle of the court. Over to Smith. Smith back to Jones. She looks in the right-hand corner. Piper Pitts was camping out, looking for a chance, and they closed that gap. Smith up top, directing traffic, asking Piper to come up top. Over the left to Rose, up to Piper for 3, up and good! Piper Pitts with her second 3-pointer of the night. Greenwood's closed the gap now down by 2, 17-19. 4.5 minutes here in the first half. Here comes the Goblins. Moving screen set by the Goblins. No call. Goblins drive in, falls down, keeps her dribble. Greenwood's transitioning back, staying in this trapping man-to-man as they come off and help each other as the ball gets down in the lower zone. Goblins on the right-hand side, stolen away just briefly there. Smith got her hand in there and almost was off to the races. One extra step and she would have been down the sideline. Lob pass inside, knocked away by Rose. Here comes Smith with the ball. Right-hand side, 1 on 2, up and off the back of the board. Smith good for 2, her first basket of the night. Greenwood's got a Goblin stop. Almost, they just crossed the line. Drive down the middle. And that ball was lost. Control was lost by the Goblins, and it goes off of Greenwood on the baseline. 19-19, we've got a tie game. Inbounds knocked away by Smith. Recovered by Piper. She releases it to Smith. Smith for an easy layup. Nice breakaway. teammate recovered for her, lobbed it out. Piper down on the ball. Tough defense trying to get Lady Goblins to pick up their dribble, and there's a timeout here called by Harrison. 21-19. Greenwood now in the lead. And that's going to be a full timeout. I think we're staying here. Yeah, we're going to stay here. We came out really hot, on fire here, as Greenwood's knocked down a total of 3 3-pointers here in the second period, as well as 3 2-pointers. We've had a couple of shots there in the lane. A couple of those were nice, easy layups out coming off of a turnover. Turnover margin's getting closer. Now it is 5-6. Greenwood's got 5 turnovers versus the Lady Goblins, who have managed to come away with 6 turnovers there in the first 2 periods. Uncharacteristic for Greenwood to have that many turnover errors, as they're very, very good with the ball, but they've managed to get their hands in a few of the passing lanes and knock it away. Coming out of the timeout, it'll be Lady Goblins' ball here on the near side. That's the side farthest away from the scorer's table. Barger to inbound for the Lady Goblins. Greenwood double teams, and Smith trying to reach in and tie it up. She had it tied up, and the official waits to call that as a foul. Smith's going to pick up her second foul of the night. She had it tied up twice, and then the official decided to call that as a reach-in. Piper playing a tough defense on the inbound. Here comes Jones as she's on the ball. Up to the half-court line, moving screen, nobody, no call. Kicks it back out top side for the Lady Goblins. Greenwood back. Nah, stolen away by Smith. Smith 1-on-2. She's going to go the glass, up and off the glass, and there's a blocking charge called on Quant, and that'll be, I think, our 3rd foul tonight. As Smith went hard to the basket, she was 1-on-3. Really didn't have a passing lane to get rid of it. But the Lady Goblin, as she's tried to take her position, that first one is up and good, was leaning backwards, and so she got that call for the blocking foul. Second shot for Smith, and it's up and good. 23-19, Greenwood's back on top. Rose out playing tough defense as Greenwood's trying to trap, stolen away by Smith. Tried to release pass, and got knocked away by the Lady Goblins. Here comes Rose with the inbound. Long pass down to Piercy. Piercy just inside the 3-point line for 2. It's up, no good. As Piercy's back in the game, coming out of that timeout. Jones, tough defense on the ball. Now Smith as they switch. Ball knocked away by Smith, recovered by the Lady Goblins. She's picked up her dribble. She's in trouble. 5 seconds close. That was a double dribble. No call. Knocked away by Piper. Piper knocked it into Piercy's hand. Piercy's left hand down the side of the lane. Steps over into the lane for 2. And there is Piercy's first points of the game. Good to see her get that first bucket of the night. Here come the Lady Goblins. Cross-court pass for 3. It's off the back of the iron, no good. They kick it back out top, back down inside to the block. There's a turnaround, spin move, no good. Rebounded by Piercy. Piercy middle of the lane, 1-on-2. They reach in, no call. Knocked it back out to Rose. Rose recovered and gets it over to Smith. Smith inside, crossover step. Couldn't quite get it to go. No foul called. Here come the Goblins, 25-21 Greenwood, minute 20. First half to go. Lady Goblins outside the 3-point line. They dribble right around to the left side, hand it off with a dribble pass. Over on the right-hand side for 3, in and out, no good. Rebounded by Greenwood, and that was in the hands of Smith, and it got knocked away and a foul called And that's Barger picks up her second for the Lady Goblins. Smith takes a seat. She'll get a breather. Dolan's in the game now for Smith. Cross-court pass over to Pearson. Back to the right, down the right-hand corner, Dolan. Now it's over to Piper. Up top to Jones as she finds Piercy to drive in the lane. That ball gets swatted away as Piercy tried to go up inside the lane for two. Goblins on the baseline. They're in trouble. Knocked away by Rose as she gets up high. Knocks that shot away. Down, stuck on the baseline is the Goblins, and they bounce it off the Greenwood player's foot. And so it's going to be Lady Goblins here with just right at 31 seconds. Inbounds in the lane is lob, stolen away by Dolan. She kicks it up ahead of herself to Piercy. Piercy 1-on-2. She pulls up her dribble in the lane, kicks it up top to Jones. Back to Dolan, back to Jones as we're going to play for the last shot of the half. Piercy for three. No good. Off the iron hard. Rebound on the ground, fought for it, kicked it back out to Jones. Jones back to Piercy. 3 seconds left in the game. Piercy to shoot more than likely. She drives in toward the lane. Tried a little underhanded layup from about midway down the lane. Couldn't get it to go. No call was called. No foul. 25-21. As we'll come back here as we head into half. Greenwood ahead, 25-21. This is Bulldog basketball.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome your Harrison dance team.
It's not enough. Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Shelter Agent Jason Hill in Greenwood and ask about Shelter's competitive rates.
Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC in Charleston are unloading every week. To see what is arriving next, you can visit hugm.com, HUGGM.com. The Hug family has made car buying an enjoyable experience for over 80 years in their spacious showroom in Charleston. Don't pay too much on your next vehicle. See the Hug team where you don't pay extra docker prep fees. Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC on Main Street in Charleston. Hometown sales and service since 1937.
How long have they been in business?
100 years.
100 years? That's nothing. We've been standing here almost that long. Why are we here again?
I'm trying to get one of those Farmers Bank ATV loans.
An ATV loan? You mean we've been posing all this time so you can get an ATV loan?
You know, you don't have to be a farmer to bank at Farmers. Farmers Bank is celebrating 115 years of serving the financial needs of everyone in the River Valley. And Farmers.
In this part of the country, it's a way of life. You're going about your day without a cloud in the sky. Then suddenly, you find yourself wondering how solid your home really is. With over 30 years of certified experience, let our team give you the same assurance on a stormy night that you feel on a clear afternoon. Before the downpour, before the leaks, call Foster Roofing, serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley since 1994.
At Laster Eye Center, we focus on more than your vision. We focus on your experience with the most modern eye exams and procedures for the entire family in one convenient location. We focus on how you feel, diagnosing and treating a whole range of vision conditions and eye disease. We focus on what you care about, finding the right combinations of frames and lenses so nothing prevents you from living your best life. Laster Eye Center, we focus on more than your vision. You'll see.
Right now at Randall Ford, we have huge selection of slightly used vehicles. No matter what you are looking for, we have it. Hondas, Chevys, GMCs, Fords. At Randall Ford, we have what you want at the budget you can afford. 0 down, 0% interest, plus deferred payments for 90 days. Need some extra cash? We will buy your vehicle, whatever you have. Plus, we will pay top dollar. Stop in today. Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or online 24/7 at randallford.com. The fourth oldest Ford dealer in America.
I'm Josh with Vision Exteriors. If you're concerned about the storms over the last couple years and the effects they've had on your roof, or the endless maintenance on your siding, or the energy efficiency on your windows, just give us a call or go online, schedule an appointment, and we'll be out there.
I'm not real popular with the insurance companies because I see the mayhem they cause every day by holding your hard-earned money in their good hands. But it's your money. I don't go with the flow, and I don't believe their bullshit. They only wish they could stop me, and the last thing they want is for you to have my number in your phone, because I'll give them mayhem. I'm Phil Votaw. You never met a lawyer like me.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Shelter Agent Jason Hill in Greenwood and ask about Shelter's competitive rates.
We're back here at Greenwood, Bulldog fans. We're in Harrison, Arkansas. Goblin Arena. Greenwood Lady Bulldogs taking on the Harrison Lady Goblins. Their first road game of the week, as we'll travel later this Friday up to Mountain Home. Unusual start tonight for the Lady Bulldogs as they got off to a slow start with just 6 points scored there in the first period, but they came out on fire. Reverse roles against the Lady Goblins. As Lady Goblins, we held them to only 6 points there in the second period. Ashlyn Rose, she's got 2 points. Piper Pitts, she's got 6 points, and she's managed to get points both first and second period. Izzy Smith, she came alive here with 6 points in the second period. Peyton Jones, she's got a total of 3 off a made three-pointer. Kyla Piercy, unexpected, only setting on 2 points here in the first half. So look for her to kind of get back into her groove as we normally see her put some points on the board. And so we would expect to see a big second half out of Kyla Piercy. And then Journey Clements with 6 points coming off of 2 made three-pointers here in the second period. She's 2 for 3, shooting 66% right now from the three-point line. So something that we would expect. I know talking about the percentages from three-point land there before the game started, and Journey's one of those leading scorers from the three-point line. So we hope to see her kind of come alive and keep contributing as she goes through. Keely Dolan, she's gotten some good quality playing time here in the first half, and so she's done a good job on defense down low. She's caused several of the Lady Goblins that had to drive in the lane, turn around, and go back out as they collapsed that 1-3-1 zone down for those half-court sets. So as Coach Castleman had said, we want to keep them out of those half-court set plays. We don't want them to be easy to get that ball down inside to their tall girl, as they've got some height there in the lane as they look for their number 22, London Lee, a senior, as she's been contributing the majority of the points here in this first half that we just finished for the Lady Goblins. Second half to start here, 25-21. Lady Bulldogs are ahead. And that ball will be inbounded here on the near side, going toward the Lady Goblins basket. Lady Bulldogs in their road blues, highlighted by the white stripe down the sides. Ball inbounded, getting ready to cross the half-court line. Greenwood tried to trap. Knocked away by Rose. Rose with a quick steal. Greenwood coming quick down to Piercy. Piercy looks across to Jones, who gives it back across to Smith. Back down to Piercy, left-hand side of the lane. Spin move in the lane, off the back of the iron. There's some tough defense as Piercy's given up several inches there inside the lane to Lee. Ball on the far side. Greenwood looking the trap. Down the right-hand corner. Quick pass down inside. Knocked away by Piper as she had a break quick down to the baseline toward the block, and she's going to pick up a foul.
Fouls on number 10, Piper Pitts, her second.
And that's her second foul of the night. Nobody really in foul trouble. We've got a few girls, though, with 2 fouls, as Clements with 2, Piercy with 2, Smith with 2, and Pitts with 2. Second shot up, no good. Rebounded by Pitts. Pitts left-hand side, cross-court pass to Piercy. Piercy comes top of the key, passing to the right-hand corner to Pitts. Back inside, tried to get it into Jones. Lady Goblins got their hand on it. Smith on the ball. Smith playing tough defense all night long. Like to see her go. That ball's knocked out of bounds. Off of the Lady Goblins. It's going to be Greenwood's ball. There's another turnover. Forced turnover by Greenwood. Piercy to inbound to Jones. Jones with the ball across the timeline. Lady Goblins in a 2-3 zone coming out here in the second half. Baseline by Piercy, little floater, no good. Bounced around, rebounded by the Lady Goblins. Smith up on the ball as they dribbled across the timeline. It's always good to see them dribble. We can get them to pick it up, make a mistake, we can get that takeaway. Bob pass back to the top, left-hand corner to the Lady Goblins as they release a player back, worried about that breakaway. Rebounded by the Lady Goblins. Shot was no good, now rebounded by Jones. Jones picks it up off the floor. 1-on-4 over the left to Smith. Smith sees Piper Pitts on the right-hand corner, up for 3, good. Fantastic shot by Piper Pitts for 3, 28-21. Just over 6 minutes left in the third period. Ball way outside Lady Goblins by Lee. Lee's picked up her dribble. Piper Pitts up top playing tough defense. She gets pushed with forearm by the Lady Goblins. No call. Drives into the baseline on block. No good. Rebounding Lady Goblins and then knocked away. Here comes Smith with the ball. 1-on-4. Back out to Piercy. Piercy drives in the lane. Left-hand side crossover. She's fouled on the layup. And Piercy's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Crowd didn't like that. But you slap somebody on the arm, that's a foul. Doesn't matter where you are. And that foul's going to be on number 22, Lee. That's her second. First shot up and good for Piercy. And that'll get her back in the groove. Lady Goblins have one player, number 1, Clontz. She's in foul trouble with 3. Second shot by Piercy off the side of the iron, no good. Lady Goblins with the ball. Greenwood picks up, full court, one man-to-man press. Drives in the lane, passes it down by the Lady Goblins on the block. They blew the first shot, and we got in there and got a foul call on the second shot.
Fouls on 31, Piercy.
That foul is going to be on Kyla Piercy, and that picks up a quick third foul
Jones at the line
for the night. Jones misses that free throw. Coach Castleman having a chat. Coach Lindsay having a chat with Piercy. Got to be careful now. Can't play too timid, but we can't go in there and take any chances and pick up the fourth foul for Piercy. Here comes Jones across the timeline. Greenwood over to the right, back to Smith. Partially knocked away. Lady Goblins couldn't keep their hands on it, and it goes out here on the near side, out of bounds. Officials going to have a quick chat as they want to make sure they're on the same page. Ball here on the near side. Piper Pitts to inbound. 25 seconds on the shot clock. Here comes the Lady Bulldogs. Jones with the ball. Over the left-hand side to Piercy. Piercy drives top of the key. Quick pass down the left side to Rose. Rose for three, no good. Rebounded. Lady Goblins. Across the timeline as Pitts is up on the ball. Lady Goblins does a dribble handoff to Lee. Lee drives right-hand side, down the lane, no good. She blows the layup. Rebounded by Rose. Rose kicks it to Pitts. Pitts turns around, grabs the ball. She saves it from a turnover. Up top to Rose as she gives it to Smith. Smith to Piercy. Piercy drives down to the lane, right-hand side, up and bounces on the backhand side. And Piercy's going to be, oh my goodness. Piercy gets called for a charge, even though both players were moving. Nobody was set. Looks like the crowd got into the ear of that official there on the baseline, and Journey Clements is going to come in for Piercy, and unfortunately, it's going to be a while before we see Piercy again. Baseline inbound for the Lady Goblins. Stolen away by Smith, up and in for two. Nice little layup for Smith. Inbounded by the Lady Goblins. They're going quick, trying to get a layup. We stop them. Almost a travel as she drug her foot. Back to the left-hand side for three, and it's up, and it's good. Inbound Greenwood. Here comes Jones, 31-24, just over 4 minutes left here in the third period of the second half. Jones with the ball up top to Smith. Knocked away. She tried to go the left-hand side to Clements. Far side right in front of the Greenwood bench. Clements the inbound to Jones. Jones to the right to Pitts. Pitts quick pass over the left side down in the left-hand corner to Smith. Smith up and under. Wouldn't go. Rebound Lady Goblins. Piper up on the ball, looking the trap. Here comes Smith to help. Lady Goblins get away from that trap. Ball on the right-hand side. Back outside the three-point line as Piper's up on the ball. Piper still on the ball. Pitt's doing a good job of playing a really up-in-your-face defense. They trying to get that 5-second call. Piper still on the ball. Down on the lower block on the right-hand side. It's up and good for the Lady Goblins. Here comes Greenwood. Ball in the hands of Smith as she goes to Jones. Back to Smith to Rose. Rose, ball partially deflected down to Rose as she gets up top. Left-hand side to Pitts. She looked at a three. Wasn't there as the defense closed in on her. Right at 15 seconds. Three-point shot. Up and good for Jones. Second three-pointer of the night for Jones as she knocked down an open three-pointer. Here comes the Lady Goblins. Down in the lane. Partially blocked by Jones. And here comes Smith. She didn't have the numbers. It's 1-on-3. Piper from the top of the key. Off the front edge of the iron. Wouldn't get the roll. Rebounded. Lady Goblins. Piper had made three-pointers in a row. That was her first miss of the night. Lady Goblins for three, and it's off the iron. Rebounded Piper Pitts, number 10 tonight. She's playing a good game. 9 points so far. Over to Rose. Rose wasn't for sure if it was for her. Down in the corner to Clements. Off the iron, no good. Rebounded Lady Goblins. Rose just kind of ended up in the wrong spot there, thinking the pass was for her. Piper Pitts up on the ball, playing tight defense still as the clock wears on with 1:50 here in the third period. Drive by the Lady Goblin down the left-hand side to the block. Looks like Rose is going to pick up her first foul of the night.
At the line,
and this will be Lee. She spent quite a bit of time tonight from the free throw line. And that was going to be up and good. Her first three-pointer. Dolan's going to come in now for Rose. Dolan looking for some points as she comes in off the bench here in the third period. Second shot up. Bounces around, no good. Pushing the back of Dolan as she tried for the rebound. Here comes Smith. Smith to Dolan. Dolan back to Smith. Left-hand side over to Journey Clements. Back to Clements. Clements finds Pitts in the left-hand corner for three. Good! Big shot for Piper Pitts from the left-hand corner as Greenwood's stretched that lead to 10 now with 1:20 as the Lady Goblin throws up a prayer in the lane. Bounced off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Dolan. Here comes Dolan with the ball across the timeline. Gives it up to Jones. Jones looks at the defense. Back to the left-hand corner to Smith. Smith couldn't quite draw iron on that shot. Rebounded by the Lady Goblins. Across the timeline, Pitts on the ball. Tries to stop the dribble as she gets into the lane. Back up top of the key for the Lady Goblins. Now Dolan on the ball. She reaches, try to knock it away. Wasn't there. Travel by the Goblins. No call. Rebounded by Clements. Here comes Jones. Jones looking ahead to Pitts. Pitts back to Journey Clements as they play back and forth with a pass. No good. No second shot, 2-point shot right there off the block for Pitts. She's back on the ball there at the timeline. Screen set by Lee, and Pitts did a good job of rolling off of that screen so they couldn't do the pick and roll. Ball in the lane. Bounced around, no good. Tough defense by Smith. Here comes Smith, 1-on-3. She's looking to score. Back right over to Clements for three, or taps for two with time running down. 37-27. End of three. Lady Bulldogs against the Lady Goblins. We'll take a quick timeout. This is Bulldog basketball.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Shelter Agent Jason Hill in Greenwood and ask about Shelter's competitive rates.
I'm Josh with Vision Exteriors. If you're concerned about the storms over the last couple years and the effects they've had on your roof, or the endless maintenance on your siding, or the energy efficiency on your windows, just give us a call or go online, schedule an appointment, and we'll be out there.
We're back. Goblin Arena here in Harrison, Arkansas. Piper Pitts has come alive here in the third period. She had 6 more additional points coming off three-pointers. She now has 12 points for the game. Pate Jones, she had added an additional 3 points as Greenwood added 12 points to their score coming out of half. Smith has it stolen away. Ball advanced down by the Lady Goblins for a layup there coming out of the third period. Smith with the ball. Left-hand side to Clements. Cross court to Pitts. Pitts down the right-hand corner as we've got Hallie Fox now in, number 13. Ball inside for Smith as she tried a layup and couldn't get it to go. Lady Goblins with the ball, left-hand side, down in the lane to their tall girl, Lee, as she does a power move on the baseline for 2. We'll see who that foul is going to be against. And that's going to go against Clements, and she's going to pick up her 3rd foul of the night. First shot up, off and around, no good. Her and one was no good. Here comes Greenwood. Smith with the ball. She gets inside to Dolan. Dolan couldn't find an open spot. Kicks it back out to Clements. Tried to be saved in by Fox. Could not. Ball on the baseline, 37-31, Lady Goblins. Not quite a minute gone out of the 4th period. Pitts on the ball. Smith to pick it up, try to get her to stop her dribble. Knocked out of bounds by Smith. Lady Goblin still with possession. Ball inbounded across the timeline as Smith and Pitts were double teaming the girl they wanted to go to, and they had to go the alternate. Knocked away by Pitts. Pitts tries to throw it up to Fox, and there's a foul called as the Lady Goblin ran into Hallie Fox, and she was in position. And that foul is going to be on number 2, Barger. And that's her third foul, and she's going to be in foul trouble now. That's 2 girls in foul trouble. Lady Bulldogs with the ball. Down the left-hand corner to Pitts. Back to Clements. Clements dribbling top of the key to Smith. Smith looks to drive into the lane. Right-hand pass to the left-hand side. No good for Pitts. Rebounded by Dolan. What a workhorse. Dolan was in there fighting for that rebound, and she came out with it. We couldn't quite capitalize on that rebound by Dolan. Dolan got in there and got fantastic position and pulled that rebound down. Actually let the ball hit the floor. And Jones is going to come back in, and Piercy's going to come back in as Piercy's playing with 4 fouls here with 6 minutes, 15 seconds left. Inbound right in front of Smith on the baseline. Here comes the ball. Jones, she slides to the ball as she plays a tight man-to-man. Greenwood looking to trap as they're back in a man-to-man half-court press. Drive by the Lady Goblins down in the lane. We got our hand on it. Journey Clements almost knocked it out of the sky. Just got her hand to tip it. And that ball is going to go on the baseline out of bounds to the Lady Goblins. Lady Goblins the inbound on their baseline. Knocked away by Smith, but recovered by the Lady Goblins. Smith tried again as the Lady Goblin girl tried to spin. That was Lee trying to spin, and Smith did a good job of getting her hand on the ball, but they're going to call her for a foul on the reach in. That's her third personal foul. That's Greenwood now has 3 girls in foul trouble. Ball inbounded as Smith tried to knock it out of her hand. Double team now. Lady Goblins to try to dribble out of that double team. Down low on the block, right-hand side. They go baseline for 2. Here comes the Lady Bulldogs. Top of the key, Jones. Over to Smith. Smith looks back to the right to Jones. Got their hand on it. Back to Smith. Right-hand side to Clements. Clements back to Smith, with Smith looking to work Jones. Jones is open, no shot though. Long pass down the left corner to Pitts, back to Jones. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. They get some instruction from Castleman. As Piercy drives in the lane, up and good, an underhanded layup. Piercy's signature move, if she can get into the lane, she can make that shot, even in traffic, and that's going to be a foul called on number 31. Nope. For the Lady Goblins. I haven't seen her number pop up on who that was on. Here comes the Lady Goblins now, 40-33. Greenwood up by 7. Long cross-court pass by the Lady Goblin for 3. No iron. Rebounded off the floor by Pitts. Here comes Smith. Left-hand side to Jones. Into Piercy. Piercy drives, left-hand side block, throws up underhanded, right-handed layup, bounced around, couldn't get it to go. Lady Goblins at half court, almost knocked away by Jones. Jones playing tough defense. She's trying to knock it away, and she's going to be called for a foul. Official hasn't quite figured that out. That's called defense. That Jones was doing there. That's not a foul. That's just called defense. You can slap at the ball, and she wasn't slapping at the Lady Goblin. Ball down inside. She just hopped on one foot, and that's a travel. No call, and there's a 3-point. shot by Webb for the Goblins. Greenwood with the ball, left-hand side to Piercy. Piercy dribbled across the free throw line, kicks it to Clements. Greenwood's got 4 girls out, 1 across the baseline. Smith gets tripped, no call, bounces it off the glass, good for 2. Here come the Goblins trying to go fast, 42-36. Just inside 4 minutes left in the game here in the 4th period. Long three-pointer. Webb again. That's her second in a row for the Gator Goblins. And we're going to have a timeout now. 42-39. 3 minutes, 31 seconds. And that's going to be a full timeout to the Goblins. For the Goblins, Lady Bulldogs come out playing tough defense, but all of a sudden, every little bump, every little touch is a foul now, and that's changing the nature of the game for the Lady Bulldogs. There's been several fouls that can only be classified as a touch foul, as Jones picked up her first foul a while ago, and she was just swiping at the ball. She was swiping the way you're supposed to, and the official was right in front of them, and after 3 swipes, he called a foul, and she picked up her first. Izzy Smith sitting there with 3 fouls here with 3.5 minutes left. Piercy, she's been in the game. She's playing with 4 fouls. And Journey Clements, she's also got 3 fouls. Piercy's put in a bucket for 2. Izzy Smith's put in a bucket for 2 as we're setting on 4 made points here in the 4th period here in the second half, as Lady Goblins are trying to fight their way up. We were up by 10 there for a moment, and 2 back-to-back 3-pointers by the Lady Goblins. Webb has helped them claw back in and drop that lead of Greenwood now down to 3. Everybody's coming in from their timeout huddles. Clements, Pitts, Piercy, Smith, and Jones in for Greenwood. Jones on the top of the key, over to Pitts. Pitts back to Jones, back to Smith. Piercy in the lane. She tried to spin, they had her covered up. Drive into the lane, and it's good for 2 as Jones worked hard, and she got in the lane to find that seam for a 2-point layup, 44-39. 3 minutes left in the game. Ball down low on the block for the Lady Goblins, knocked away, recovered by Piercy. Piper Pitts knocked that rebound away. Over to Jones, left-hand side for 3, off the front of the iron, rebounded by Piercy. Piercy gets knocked down. She did not get a chance to go back up to shoot on that rebound, and that foul is called on the floor on number 32, Jones. Here comes Piercy. He's in the lane, goes up to shoot, fouled, no call, as the Lady Goblins got their hand on the ball, but definitely a body foul. Smith over on the ball. She's trying to steal it, playing tough defense. Ball to Webb, and she knocks down her 3rd three-pointer in the 4th period. 44-42. Crowds in it. Student sections on their feet for the Goblins. Ball in the left-hand corner to Smith. Couldn't draw iron. Rebounded by the Lady Goblins. 44-42. Right at 2 minutes left here in the game. Lady Goblins in trouble. Handoff. Knocked away by Jones, recovered by the Lady Goblins as they get 2 points. Tie ball game. Minute 55 left here in the game. Jones with the ball, top of the key, over to Piercy. Piercy off the screen by Jones, in the lane, tries to go up for 2. She's fouled, no call, swallowed the whistle. Clements playing defense, and she says, "You're not going to shoot over me." And she gets called for the block.
Fouls on Journey Clements, that's her 4th personal foul.
And Clements picks up her 4th foul of the night. Minute 40 here left in the game. Tied as Quant goes to the line. She's playing with 3 fouls as well. Ball up. Bounces around and good. Goblins with their first lead here in the second half, 45-44. Second shot up and good. Here comes Jones. Jones looking at the defense, over to Smith. Smith back to Jones. Long three-pointer for Jones. Off the back of the iron. Ball knocked out of bounds by Greenwood, they say. On the baseline, inbound by the Lady Goblins. Greenwood putting the tough full-court pressure. Smith knocks the ball away from the Goblins. Goes out of bounds there on the baseline. Going to be inbounded again. Inbounds pass there over in the corner. Again, ball called off of the Lady Bulldogs. Smith and Jones playing tough defense. Bad pass by the Lady Goblins. Greenwood with the ball. Piercy recovered the bad pass. It's another turnover. Here comes the Lady Bulldogs. Smith with the ball. Back up top to Jones. Jones to Piercy. Piercy drives. Splits the double team. Knocked away by the Lady Goblins. It's Piercy playing tough D. She can't foul. She's got 4. And that's going to be Smith. Looks like they're going to call Smith with that foul. And that's going to be Izzy's 4th foul. Greenwood 44. Lady Goblins 46. As Quant will go to the line to shoot. As Greenwood now has 5 team fouls. First one's up and good. Second shot for the Lady Goblins. Greenwood down by 3. Looking to go up now for a second free throw, and that's good. Greenwood down by 4. Here comes Jones. 1 minute left here in the game. Jones top of the key. Left-hand side to Piercy. Piercy looks to drive. Kicks it up top. Over in the corner to Clements for 3. Good! Splash ball by Journey Clements. She knocks down 3-pointer from the right-hand corner to bring up Greenwood down now only by 1 with 50 seconds left. Clutch 3-point shot by Clements. Fantastic to see her come through there. She took her spot in the right-hand corner and just waited for the pass. Had a Lady Goblin coming at her as she, with ice in her veins, took that shot from the right-hand corner for 3 to pull the Lady Bulldogs up within 1. As Greenwood will come out of this timeout looking for full-court press, see if we can get them to turn it over. We've had some chances there. We've got our hands in the passing lane. We've got our hands on the ball on the inbounds. Lady Goblins are trying to get it into number 1, Quant. That's her ball, their ball handler, so if we can deny that pass and make them go to somebody who's not as comfortable, I think Coach Castleman will be happy with that kind of outcome coming out of this timeout. 50.6 seconds left here in the game. Greenwood down by 1. Looking to have to come back here because we once had a 10-point lead. Lady Goblins were able to chisel that out with a 3 3-pointers in a row here by Webb with the Lady Goblins. Ball's going to be on the baseline. Lady Goblins going to have to go full court as Greenwood's going to set up in their full court press. Looks like they're going to come out man-to-man for this inbounds. She can run. Got the ball into Quant. Greenwood looking to trap down the baseline. She steps on the sideline right in front of the student section. Can't believe it. She bounces the ball back, makes a face at the official, but she was not happy, couldn't believe it, but they pressed her toward the sideline. Jones with the ball, top of the key, 43 seconds. Back to Smith. Over to Piercy. Piercy back to Jones. Smith with the ball, down to Piercy, down to Clements in the left-hand corner. Goblins tried to steal. Up to Jones. Jones couldn't draw a line for three. Rebounded in, saved by Clements. Clements got it into Jones. Or that's Smith. But she had her side turned. And there's a timeout call by Castleman. Castleman says we're going to talk about it. We're going to set up with 18 seconds left. Down by one. That ball will be over here, looks like, on the far side, as the officials talk about where it'll be inbounded. Fantastic job by Journey Clements as she laid out in the air, saved that ball as it was going out of bounds on the baseline and get that back into Jones to give Greenwood an opportunity to win this game now with 18.8 seconds left in the game. Fantastic job as well on our tried and true full court press, man-to-man this time, as they forced the Lady Goblins to go down the sideline at a faster pace than she wanted to, trying to get away from that double team, and stepped on or dribbled the ball on the sideline right in front of the official. So no question about it. He was right there, basically at his feet here on this near side across the court from the scorer's table. So coming out of the timeout huddles, Lady Goblins up by one. Lady Goblins have 3 team fouls, so they could give 2 as long as they're not shooting fouls to try to slow this game down just a little. Inbound by Smith. Or no, that's going to be Pitts, the inbound. She's going to throw it into Jones. Smith on the far side. Ball knocked out by the Lady Goblins as they were trying to get it to Piercy in that lower left-hand corner, coffin corner. 15.2 seconds. Greenwood still down by 1. Piper Pitts to inbound. Inbound to Piercy. Piercy tries to split the double team. Ball gets knocked away. Tie ball called, and that possession arrow points to the Lady Goblins. We've got a timeout now. That timeout's called by the Goblins, and that's going to be a full timeout. Another full 1-minute timeout. Lady Goblin's going to have to go one end of the floor to the other, which gave them trouble the last time. And Greenwood's going to have to try to push them toward that sideline. That extra player is a sideline, and then get them the trap there right at the half court for a turnover. Clements tried to split that double team. They got a hand on it. They also got their body on it, but there was no foul called, as there was lots of contact as she split the double team, and the ball ends up on the floor and turned over with a tie as possession arrows pointing to the Lady Goblins. So coming out of the timeout, looks like we'll have our, can't tell if we're coming out with the exact same starting 5 or not, or if we've made a substitution. Looks like the same 5 that went in. So Rose is out. Clements is in for her three-point ability. Inbound on the baseline by the Lady Goblins. Greenwood looking the trap, and foul called on the baseline. Looks like it's going to be on Jones. And that's just her second foul of the night with 11 seconds, 48-47. Greenwood still looking for a way to win this game. First shot up, rolls around and good. And now 2-point deficit for Greenwood. Still a 1-possession game. Second shot up, it rolls in good. And timeout called by Greenwood.
Lady Bulldogs, it's a full timeout.
And that's going to be a full timeout again. Lady Bulldogs this time, as Coach Castleman's going to work on setting up their set play, as Greenwood's going to have to travel for a full court, baseline to baseline, to get this points, down by 3 with 11 seconds left here in the game. They saw a 10-point lead get whittled away by some 3-point shooting by the Lady Goblins. Fourth period points have come from Smith and Jones and Piercy. Have seen one 3-pointer, and that came from Journey Clements. She got Greenwood back into striking position as she closed the gap, as Greenwood's been fighting back here in the last 2.5, 3 minutes. Trying to put a game plan here on the sideline to win this game, or at least tie it and send us into some overtime. Get a little bonus basketball here on the road at Harrison, Arkansas. Jones down the far end with Pitts. Nope. Yeah, Pitts inbounds to Jones. Here comes Jones, cross half court. And Lady Goblins had a few fouls to give, and there's the first foul as they cross the half court line. 50-47, inbound by Pitts there on the sideline. Greenwood with the inbound play into Jones. 6 seconds left, 5. Down into the corner to Clements. Good for 3 as she comes inside. A splash points for Clements. That's 2 in a row for Clements here in the fourth period as Greenwood ties it up and sends us into overtime. Journey Clements with a clutch 3-point shot. Not the traditional jump shot that you see, not that you draw it up. But Clements had the ball. It was open. She had a clean view of it and took that leaner in for 3. Nothing but net. As we're going to head into an overtime period. Bonus basketball here in the Lady Bulldogs as they take on the Lady Goblins. Some points of concern for the Lady Bulldogs. Izzy Smith playing with 4 fouls. Kyla Piercy playing with 4 fouls. Journey Clements playing with 4 fouls. So those girls will have to play a little bit of a back off on their defense, but I haven't seen it here in the last minute as they've all been giving it their all. They fought back here in the last 2 minutes to get this game tied, and so now we'll come out and we'll play some extra time. Bonus basketball here in the Lady Bulldogs game tonight. Game 1 of a 2-game set as the boys team will come out here and pick up after 4 minutes of overtime. Jump ball again here in the center. (50-50). Jump ball recovered by the Lady Goblins. Smith on the ball. Clements up, trying to steal. Jump ball, and that's going to go to the Lady Bulldogs as Izzy Smith was able to get her hands in there and tie that ball up. Possession arrow went to Greenwood. Jones over to Piercy, back across the Pitts. Clements down on the right-hand side. She didn't look for a 3. Back up top to Piercy. Piercy to Jones. Smith with the ball now. And a call. Looks like it was away from the ball. And that's going to be called on Piercy. That's her 5th foul for the game, and that sends Piercy, unfortunately, to the bench. Rose comes in to take that spot as that foul was called away from the ball. Lady Goblins now with the ball as they cross half court. Journey Clements up on the ball now. Trying to trap. Knocked away by Jones. A little lazy lob rainbow pass by the Lady Goblins, and we almost stole it out of the air as they got into the passing lane. Jones did a fantastic job of reading their eyes. And inbound now. Trap on the far side. Smith playing tough defense, almost stole it. Ball in the right-hand corner, down on the lower block, up off the glass, no good as she blew the little 2-footer. Rose looks like she may have gotten her hand on it. And the ball goes out on the baseline. Possession of the Lady Goblins. Possession there on a tie ball, points toward the Lady Goblins. Ball inbound and stolen away by Smith. Smith's got numbers, one-on-one, coming up behind her, throws it up off the back of the board. Good for 2. Here comes the Lady Goblins. Jones looking to stop the dribble on the far left side. Back up top. Smith and Pitts looking to trap. Rose tries to knock it away. Couldn't quite do it. Jump stop by the Lady Goblins as she pulled her dribble up. Greenwood double teams down the left-hand corner. Ball in the, she travels. Forgot to dribble as she tried to go in the lane down toward the right-hand side on the block. And that's a turnover for Lee. Jones with the ball. Greenwood up 52-50. 2.5 minutes left here in the overtime period. Smith with the ball. As she dribbles, looks inside as Pitts, she cut through, had her back to her. Clements with the ball, back up top to Jones. Jones finds Smith cutting, ball knocked away. Lady Goblins with the ball, cross half court, 52-50. Greenwood up with 2 minutes left. 3-point shot up, no good, bounces off the iron. Rose goes to the ground and she gets run over by Lee. Greenwood goes for the ball, she's tripped. As that was Smith trying to get the turnover as the ball was loose on the ground. She gets tripped from behind from the Lady Goblins and goes to the ground. No call. Ball out on the sideline here on the near side. Lady Goblins the inbounds. The crowd's getting into it on both sides. Lady Goblins top of the key. Lee looks to make a pass back down the left-hand side. Ball knocked away by Rose. Outstanding job by Rose to get her hands down as they tried to feed it back inside to the big girl, flashing in the lane. Back down inside, knocked away by Jones, recovered by Pitts, and now in the hands of Smith. Minute and a half left here in the overtime period in the game. Smith with the ball, top of the key, picks up her dribble, throws it inside to Smith. She gives it to Clements. Clements gets run into by the Lady Goblins, and no call. Ball on the sideline is 52-50, minute 20 left in the game. Lady Goblins with the ball. Smith up playing tough defense. She's playing with 4 fouls. Got to give her for her heart. She's willing to lay it on the line this game. Back up top for Lady Goblins. Down inside, kicks it back lower left-hand corner. She's in trouble. Back to Lee. Down inside in the lane, bounce pass. We got a tie game with less than a minute left, 52-52. Here comes Jones, top of the key, right-hand side to Smith. Smith back to Jones. Rose on the far side, sets up in the corner. No pass from Pitts. Jones with the ball. Down into Smith in the lane. She's looking for a layup, can't get it. Gives it to Jones, top of the key. Dribbles left-hand side to Pitts. Long pass to Smith. 29 seconds left here. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Shot up by Jones off the front of the iron. Greenwood tries for the rebound. Tie game. 20 seconds left. Greenwood looking for a turnover. Timeout on the side to Harrison. Just as Harrison crossed the timeline with 16.6 seconds left. No shot clock remaining. Full timeout called by Harrison. Greenwood had the ball, had an opportunity there. Thought there might be a timeout. Castleman let him play. He's got good quality leadership. Still got his 3 seniors there on the floor. So good floor leadership with Rose and Clements as their 3-point shooters to give them a chance to go up. 16 seconds left. Ball's going to be in the hand of the Lady Goblins. They should have inbounded it there on the far side, right in front of the scorer's table. Greenwood has 5 team fouls. Lady Goblins have 4. So they still have 1 foul to give before it comes an automatic trip to the free throw line. Whistle's been blown. The girls are coming out of their timeout huddles. Don't see any personnel changes for Greenwood as it's Rose, Clements, Jones, Smith, and Pitts for the Lady Bulldogs here. They've got to play a tough defense against the Lady Goblins. Looking for a steal or a trap. Looks like they're going to let a free inbound, and Smith comes up to play defense. They got her over in the corner, in a little bit of trouble. Across the timeline, pass over to the right-hand side. And that's going to be up and off the glass. Good with an and-one call. Looks like that foul was called on Peyton Jones, her third foul of the night. Peyton Jones. 54-52, 5 seconds left. It's the and-one shot for the Lady Goblins. It's up and it's good. Inbound now on the baseline, and Coach Castleman says, let's talk about it. We need to set something up. 5.3 seconds. We lost Piercy there in the fourth period with her fifth foul of the night. So she's having to play cheerleader now there on the bench. She encourages her teammates. Down by 3, 5.3 seconds left as we're in a timeout here in the overtime period of the night's first game with the Lady Bulldogs against the Lady Goblins. Lady Goblins came into this game with a conference record of 2-3. 52. Greenwood came in with a 4-1 conference record, so they're looking to hang another W on the wall. We'll see maybe if we can get another tie ball game for our second overtime period. Journey Clements can be our superhero again of the game and hit another three-point shot for us. Lady Bulldogs come out of the huddle from the timeout. Ball is going to be inbounded on the far baseline, so they're going to have to go fast. And looks like the Lady Goblins are going to come out and possibly pick up at half court. Man-to-man. Ball in the hand of Smith. Smith across the timeline. Long three-point shot off the iron. And that's the buzzer. As Lady Bulldogs are going to go down to the Lady Goblins 52-55. In the first game of the night with an extra added bonus period. Greenwood goes down by 3 to the Lady Goblins. We'll step away here as we head in to the end of the game. This is Bulldog basketball.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Shelter Agent Jason Hill in Greenwood and ask about Shelter's competitive rates.
In this part of the country, it's a way of life. You're going about your day without a cloud in the sky. Then suddenly, you find yourself wondering how solid your home really is. With over 30 years of certified experience, let our team give you the same assurance on a stormy night that you feel on a clear afternoon. Before the downpour, before the leaks, call Foster Roofing, serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley since 1994.
And we're back. Goblin Arena, Harrison, Arkansas. Greenwood, unfortunately, goes down by 3 as they lose to the Lady Goblins 55-52. Some highlights for the game. Leading scorer was Journey Clements with 12 points, followed by Izzy Smith with 10. And then Piper Pitts contributed an additional 12 points as well, as her and Journey were the top 2 point getters, followed by Izzy Smith. Tough game for Kyla Piercy as they played some tough defense on her, made her work hard as she didn't get her normal points. So Greenwood now heads into Friday night's game. Conference play 4-2 as they'll play this Friday on the road again as they go to Mountain Home to play the Mountain Home Lady Bombers. We'll be back here to pick up The second game of the night is the Greenwood Bulldog boys take on the Harrison Goblins here in Harrison, Arkansas. That game will be back here in just over 8 minutes. This is Bulldog basketball.